Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Puck Drops here. This is your host, Peter Fifa, day 22 of the coronavirus suspension NHL. Getting ready to broadcast some stuff and talk about this suspended NHL season as we get into day 22. This is the third to last year game day of the NHL season. A lot of stuff's going to be decided today. We'll talk about the games, talk about who wins, point wise, values, and all that stuff. Everyone still be safe, keep to yourself, keep together, take care of your families, do the right thing, don't get hurt, don't get sick. Promise you, everything's going to work all right. Everything's going to be good. It'll all turn out the right way. I promise you. So we'll get hockey back too. Not the priority right now, but we'll get it back. Let's get into the scores. Oof, we had a lot of scores today. The Devils, in their final game in Newark for this season, beat the Sabres 4-3 with a game-winning goal scored by Hughes. The Blackhawks faced off against the Islanders, and Brock Nelson got the game-winning goal for New York. The Flyers took down Nashville, game-winning goal for the captain Claude Giroux off a deflection in front of the net on a Couturier shot. What a great pass by Provorov, and Voracek set up the whole play, and the Flyers win. The Penguins win in a shootout against the New York Rangers. The game-winning goal scored by their captain, Sidney Crosby. A short shootout for the Penguins. So, yes, the Rangers get another point. Toronto absolutely manhandles the Detroit Red Wings 4-0. Game-winning goal there scored by Tavares, another captain scoring. The Capitals beat Minnesota, but this goal is not scored by the captain. It's scored by the Swedish namesake of an goal scored by Mike Hoffman, who gets it done from Florida. The Lightning, that's a 3-2 win. The Lightning just clobber Columbus 7-1. Game-winning goal scored there by Tyler Johnson off of a wonderful pass by Andre Palat. The Blues win 5-3 over the Boston Bruins at home. The defending champions getting a goal by David Perron. The Calgary Flames beat down Vegas 6-3. The game-winning goal there scored by Johnny Gaudreau. The Jets win in Colorado against the Avalanche. The game-winning goal scored there by Kyle Connor. The Stars take down San Jose 3-1. It was 4-2 Jets. 3-1 Stars with the game-winning goal scored by Miro Heiskanen, if you say that name. And the Canucks win 5-4 over the Arizona Coyotes. A comeback win for the comeback kids, and it's Bo Horvat, the captain there, with the game-winning goal for Vancouver. Let's get into the standings and all of the clinchers and eliminations. In the Atlantic, the Bruins have 118 points and have played 81 games, have the President's Trophy. The Lightning hold 106 points and have played 81 games as well. A game left for the Lightning. They are in second place, and they will be hosting either Toronto or Florida. The Maple Leafs are in third place with 96 points and 81 games played. A point behind them are the Panthers with 95 points and 81 games played. Florida is currently in the second wild card spot. The Canadiens have 82 points and have played 81 games. They have been eliminated. The Sabres have 75 points and have played 81 games. They have also been eliminated. The Senators have 65 points and have played 81 games. They have also been eliminated. The Red Wings hold 46 points with 81 games played for Detroit, all eliminated for the Red Wings. In the Metropolitan Division, also Toronto and Florida, neither have clinched a playoff spot yet. Even Toronto has not clinched a playoff spot yet because there's a possibility that they could even drop out with a few happenings on Saturday. They're on the verge of clinching, but Toronto has not clinched a playoff spot, as Florida hasn't either. In the Metro, the Philadelphia Flyers have the 107 points and have 81 games played. The Caps have 104 points with 81 games played. The Penguins hold 101 points with 81 games played. The Islanders have 100 points with 81 games played, and the Islanders sit in the first wild card spot ahead of Florida by 5 points, and they will have either the first wild card spot or the third wild card spot. They're eliminated from being second, but they will be either the first wild card or the third spot. The Rangers have 94 points and have played 81 games. The Hurricanes have 90 points and have 80 games played. The Blue Jackets have 88 points and have 81 games played. And the Devils have 78 points, eliminated with 81 games played. Let's look at everyone else. The Flyers are the 2020 Metropolitan Division champions. The Flyers have won the Metro. In second place in the Metropolitan Division are the Capitals, who trail the Flyers by 3 points, but the Caps aren't going to catch them. But the Caps aren't going to be caught. The Capitals will host either the Penguins or the Islanders in round number 1 as the second spot in the Metropolitan Division. The Caps will have home ice for at least one round. The Penguins have 101 points with 81 games played. They're 1 point ahead of the Islanders, who have the first wild card spot. So the Islanders could be the third place team facing either. All four of these teams are going to stay in the Metropolitan Division, but the Islanders could be in the wild card spot heading over to Wells Fargo to play the Flyers, or they could be headed to Washington as a 3 seed to play the Caps. If that happened, then the Penguins would face the other team. So if the Penguins are 3, they'll face Washington in another Capital Penguin matchup. This would be the fourth in 5 seasons. Or the Penguins would visit the Flyers for the second matchup in 3 seasons, Battle of Pennsylvania, and the Islanders would face the Caps with Barry Trotz coaching against his former team. So some storylines we'll see next week on who ends up where in the playoffs. The Rangers are still alive barely with 94 points in 81 games played, and they're the reason that Toronto and Florida have not clinched a playoff spot yet. But they're hanging on to a loose thread, and they'll need some little things to happen. If they win, if they get into the playoffs, regardless of what happens in the Atlantic Division and the Metropolitan Division, they will be headed to TD Garden to play the President's Trophy champion Boston Bruins. But the Rangers are still in the playoffs. The Hurricanes, due to some point battle on the Rangers, are eliminated before they even play tomorrow because the Rangers got the point. Since the Rangers got it to a shootout off of a Chris Kreider goal with 2 minutes left, the Hurricanes are out of the playoffs, as is Columbus and New Jersey. The Hurricanes are out of the playoffs, excuse me. Hurricanes are out of the playoffs. The only 3 teams in the Eastern Conference that have not clinched a playoff spot and are still eligible to be in the playoffs are the Florida Panthers, the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the New York Rangers. Let's get into the Western Conference. The St. Louis Blues jump ahead of the Colorado Avalanche with 108 points in 81 games played. Remember, the Central Division champion also gets home ice throughout the Western Conference and may even, depending on what happens with the scores, possibly what happens with the Philadelphia Flyers, may even get home ice against any team in the Stanley Cup final that isn't the Boston Bruins. They'll also be scoreboard watching Philadelphia. The second team in the Central are the Colorado Avalanche with 107 points and have played 81 games. The Dallas Stars have 96 points and have played 81 games as well. They have also clinched third place position in the Central. So the Dallas Stars will be playing either in Denver in the first round or in St. Louis against whoever doesn't win the Central. The Minnesota Wild have dropped to the second wild card spot. We'll talk about that. They have 91 points and with 81 games played. The Jets jumped the Predators with 88 points, have played 81 games. The Nashville Predators still have 86 points and 81 games played. So after staying alive by beating the Canadiens, Nashville falls to the Flyers, where the Flyers won the division in the same game. The Predators were eliminated from the playoffs in the Western Conference. Chicago also with 83 points, 81 have played 81 games, so they are done. So for the first time since the 2000 it's been long since the 2013-14 season, the Predators will not be playing hockey in after April. They're done. They'll be golfing. The Blackhawks are done as well, too. So the Pacific Division, the other division that has had a division champ, the Canucks win the division, 98 points, 81 games played. The first time the Canucks have ever won the Pacific Division, and the first time the Canucks have won their division since the 2013 season, and the first time the Canucks have won the division. Well, it doesn't count because this is a suspended year. So, yeah, since 2013. I was going to say first time the Canucks have won a season in a regular 82-game season since 2011 to 12, but this is a suspended year as well, so we'll count that as 2013. The Oilers are in second place with 95 points in 81 games played. They may be second or third, but they will be in the top three. The Vegas Golden Knights have 94 points, holding on for dear life to that third spot. Have also played 81 games. In third place with 94 points. The Flames are right behind them at 92 points and are in the first wildcard spot. They jump ahead and with 81 games played. The Coyotes have 85 points and 81 games played. The Ducks have 73 points and 80 games played. Sharks also eliminated, as well as Anaheim have 69 points and 81 games played. The Kings have 68 points and 80 games played. Kings did not play yesterday. The Flames, hence this hat, are in the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs. They're the last team in the Western Conference to clinch a playoff spot is Calgary. They could actually, if they win and some other things happen, Calgary could end up reaching into a third place spot and playing the Edmonton Oilers in the Battle of Alberta. And that would happen in Oiler country. Vegas have a possibility to have home ice against Edmonton. Those are some scenarios that could happen. Now, obviously, the Central, the division has not been clinched yet. There'll be some options on. Let's look at the games tomorrow. There's only 2 games tomorrow before the final clinching of the seeding on the last day of the regular season on Saturday, and also we'll look at who gets to play in Tampa and who gets the final wild card spot in the Eastern Conference and heads to Boston. Columbus plays Carolina, which was a huge playoff matchup, and it looked like could be the 2 wild card teams to start this start before the season got postponed, and also even a few weeks ago. But right now, both these teams now are eliminated from the playoffs. Columbus visits Carolina. The LA Kings also visit the Anaheim Ducks in an important game for draft seeding, but no playoff implications tomorrow. The big games will be on Saturday, but those two games will happen tomorrow. So probably a very short video tomorrow, but we'll look at the draft seedings right now. Detroit has already the first has already clinched the best pick. Now let me explain how the draft will end up going. I can't really have a lottery balls or have more, but let me explain it this way. For right now, the best odds have been clinched by the Detroit Red Wings, and the second best odds have also been clinched by the Ottawa Senators. We don't know right now on third and fourth, but we're very certain they're going to go to the Kings and then San Jose's pick, which is owned by the Senators. But what will happen is if I pick the coin, it's going to be out of coins, and the first coin I pick for some reason is Detroit, they're not going to go to 15th. It would go to number 4. The first best odds, the worst they can be is number 4. Second is number 5. Third is number 6. Fourth is number 7. Any others would just go back to the line at 15, 14, 13, yada, 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 etc., etc., etc. So we'll get that. That'll be on tomorrow. The 5th is Monday, Sunday, the 6th, the 7th. That'll be on Tuesday, and then we'll start the Stanley Cup playoffs on Wednesday. We're waiting for some more of the seeding. We'll explain some of the seeding we know right now. We know the Bruins will be home against a wild card team. We don't know if it'll be Toronto, the Panthers, or the New York Rangers. We know the Lightning will be playing at home against either Toronto or the Florida Panthers. Not sure which team. In the Metropolitan, we know the Flyers will be playing either the Penguins or the Islanders, and the Capitals will be playing either the Penguins or the Islanders. Both will be in Philadelphia or Washington. So we also know that the Islanders will stay in the Metro, and that the Rangers are the only Metro team that could switch over to the Atlantic with the wild card win, with a wild card position and fix. We know that either the Blues or the Avalanche will have home ice throughout the entire Western Conference. You know that the Stars will play either the Blues or the Avalanche, whoever loses the division race. And right now, we're not sure who'll get the wild card, either the second wild card spot, if it's the Wild or the Flames. It'll be either the Wild or the Flames would get the second, and Vegas would not. Vancouver is going to play either Calgary, or I'm not sure if Calgary or Minnesota, Calgary or Edmonton, or Vegas or Edmonton. That's the seeding. None of the seeds of teams have been clinched already. There are some teams that are locked in and on who they're playing. And that's not going to be seen until the last day on Saturday. Again, the only really important game tomorrow is Anaheim and Los Angeles. And that essentially is going to make it easier to see what lottery pick Anaheim will be or Los Angeles will be. For example, if Anaheim wins tomorrow, let me look. Both who have played 80 games. Well, it actually doesn't mean anything because the Kings could jump ahead of the Sharks on that number. If they get 70, even 72 wouldn't jump them ahead of Anaheim. So Uh, in fact, top four have been clinched in the lottery. Lost the Kings, the Sharks pick, which is Ottawa, Detroit, and Ottawa's pick, except for one thing, and that'll be on Saturday. So really, there's no significance on tomorrow's at all. But unless, of course, no, because even then the Kings could win. There will be some significance on Saturday, but we know that the Detroit Red Wings have the best chance to win the lottery. The Senators pick for themselves have the second best chance to win the lottery. All we're looking at now is, will the third best chance be the Kings, or will it be the Sharks pick via the Ottawa pick? So that'll be good to look at tomorrow. There really is nothing to really look at, but I hope that you guys do come here to enjoy it. It'll be a very, very quick video tomorrow, and then we'll have a long video on Saturday just on who clinches, see the last playoff spot in the East clinched, and we'll also see all of the positions in the draft positions clinched for the lottery. I hope you join us for tomorrow and for Saturday. As everyone, again, you guys stay safe. Everybody be secure. I'll see you tomorrow, and I'll see you Saturday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and the rest of the playoffs for the Stanley Cup run in this suspended coronavirus league. Uh, Goodbye, everybody. Stay safe, everybody, and happy hockey, everybody.